The road was supposed to be a shortcut. My GPS blinked out somewhere past mile marker 82. I remember it because the road stopped feeling like asphalt and more like a forgotten path clawed through the woods. I was on my way to visit my aunt in North Carolina. She had no cell phone, no internet, just a cabin on land that belonged to our family for generations. I was looking forward to silence, to being unreachable, but not this kind of silence. The kind that settles in your bones and makes you question if the world around you still exists. Around 9 p.m., the car gave out, just sputtered, hissed, and died. No signal, no reception, and trees so thick I couldn't see the stars. The headlights dimmed and faded. It was as if everything electrical simply gave up. I waited 10 minutes, then I honked the horn. Nothing. No lights in the distance, no sounds but wind through skeletal branches. Then I saw the glow, not far off the road, behind a thicket of trees. A warm light flickered yellow, soft, like an oil lamp. I hesitated. Every horror story starts this way, but the night was cold, and the forest darker than ink. I needed help. The house was old, wooden frame, paint peeled like dry skin, but the curtains were clean. A porch light swayed gently in the wind. There were wind chimes made of bone or something that looked like bone. I knocked. Footsteps inside, then a voice, scratchy, female. Just a moment. The door opened to reveal a small, hunched woman in a faded shawl. Her eyes were too sharp, like she was trying to read something behind my face. "You're late," she said. "You should have come earlier. It's not safe after dark. Come in." I stepped inside. The interior didn't match the outside. It was pristine, not modern, but preserved. Lace curtains, wooden shelves stacked with jars. A fire crackled in the hearth. It smelled of cloves and old wood. "I'm just passing through," I said. "Car trouble." The woman, she never told me her name, nodded like she already knew. "You can sleep in the guest room upstairs. First door on the left." "Thank you. Do you have a phone, by any chance?" She looked at me, smiled thinly. Not one that reaches out. I tried not to show how uneasy that made me. Dinner was soup, thin but hot. She watched me eat, not in a hostile way, but expectant. I asked about the house. She said it belonged to her mother, and her mother's mother before that. No electricity, no television. "Electric things don't last long here," she added. "They die quick, like your car." She chuckled. I didn't. I excused myself and went upstairs. The hallway was narrow, with faded wallpaper that peeled like snakeskin. I passed a door on the right that had 3 locks, all shut. I paused. The guest room was just as she said, first door on the left. Neat, bed made, oil lamp on the nightstand. But I couldn't stop thinking about that other door. Something behind it was breathing. Slowly, weightly. I lay in bed, but sleep didn't come. It started around 2:17 a.m. I know because I had my wristwatch. It still worked. For now, there was a knock on my door. Soft, 3 taps. I opened it. No one. The hallway stretched longer than before. I mean, that literally the end of it had disappeared into shadow. I closed the door. Another knock. Then a whisper through the keyhole. "Don't open the locked door." I turned the lamp higher. Shadows jittered across the room. Then the mirror moved. Not fell. Moved. It slid an inch to the left, then back, as if something behind it had nudged it from inside the wall. I froze. My breath fogged the air, though the room wasn't cold. Then I heard a voice, soft, childlike, coming from under the bed. "Are you the new one?" I didn't look. I couldn't. I jumped up, grabbed my bag, and opened the door again. Now the hallway was full of pictures-framed photos of people, their eyes scratched out. One of them looked like me. I ran down the stairs. The house groaned like a ship caught in ice. The woman was sitting in a rocking chair by the fire, unmoving. "You can't leave until morning," she said without turning around. The door wouldn't open. The knobs turned, but the wood stayed solid. I tried every window, all sealed. At 3:33 a.m., the house laughed. Not the woman, not anything human. The house itself, the walls, the floorboards, the chimney, they laughed. I curled into a corner and waited. When I woke, I was in a different room. Smaller, no windows. Just a single door, the one with 3 locks. But they were all undone now. Opened the handle called to me. Outside, the hall had collapsed into nonsense. Stairs led upward into the floor. Doors opened into black voids. Gravity didn't matter here. I found the front door again. Behind it was another hallway, then another door, another hallway, another door, a loop. The woman followed me, always just around the corner. I never saw her move, but every time I turned, she was there, closer. At one point, the mirrors began showing me things I hadn't done yet. Me screaming, me on fire, me opening the locked door again and again. At some point, I did. Inside was a staircase going down. I descended. The basement was a memory graveyard. Objects I recognized from childhood. A toy train I lost when I was 6. A photo of my mother, aged and gray, though she died young. A cassette tape labeled, "You Leaving." I played it. It was my voice, begging, screaming. Something in the dark spoke. "You were always meant to come here." Then the fire started. I woke in my car. Sunlight burned through the windshield. Birds sang. My phone had signal. The engine started on the first try. I stumbled out and searched the forest. No house, no path, just trees. I drove until I found a gas station. Asked the old man behind the counter if he knew of any house down that road. He squinted. Used to be. Burned down in '68. Woman inside refused to leave. Folks say she cursed the place. I asked if anyone built a new one there. He shook his head. No one touches that land. Doesn't even show up on most maps. He paused. "Why are you asking?" I just said, "I thought I saw something, but in my bag was a photo. One I didn't pack. It was me, standing in that upstairs hallway. Behind me, a door with 3 locks, and something watching from the shadows."